And,
thank you.
Yes, you got it. What I do every day is I receive your rant via email, and I use that as a basis to write the my congressman via email on the subject that you sent out. So for today, my email to them was to end the Medicare Advantage scam. And I was thinking if more people also did that, we could get more exposure to our subjects, possibly with our elected officials.
Very cool. Yeah, and my daily rant, which is typically my opening rant on the show. Louise and I write it the night before and the morning of. I mean, we worked on it for about an hour this morning before we published it. Is at hartmannreport.com, and it's free. And it's got no ads, and we don't sell our list or anything like that. So it's there as our version of a public service. Ziggy, that's great. Thank you. Thanks for the idea. By the way, there's another point that I wanted to make here. Just a very quick rant, and then I'll pick up your phone calls. As I said, we have no guest today. It's you and me. We're going to have a wonderful day, a fascinating day. And that is this idea that, and Mark Sumner laid this out brilliantly over at Daily Kos, and I want to give him credit for it. He's one of the best writers out there. Mark Sumner and Hunter are, between the two of them, and Gabe Ortiz when it comes to immigration things, as well as others. Marcos has got some great people writing for him. This was titled, "Attacks on Masks in Schools Aren't Just About Masks, They're an Attempt to Destroy Education." And I want to go even beyond what Mark was pointing out. Back in the 70s, Ronald Reagan, when he was trying to make his nationalists to run for president in 1980, Ronald Reagan was pushing for a requirement that every school in America have prayer every day, prayer in school. In fact, there was talk about a prayer in school constitutional amendment, prayer in school laws. Prayer in school was like a major battleground. Then there was the sex ed battleground around the same time, and in the 80s and in the early 90s, sex education in schools, how we've got to have abstinence-only sex education. Reagan actually put that into place, and that was in 1982 or 83. He put into place a federal program to provide curriculum to schools all over the country. It was a well-funded program that was abstinence-only education. No mentioning of condoms, no mentioning of birth control pills, no mentioning of abortion, of course. Girls, boys won't want to marry you if you're not a virgin when you get married. And boys, you sexually transmitted diseases from those girls. That's the essence of it, right? And that got, by the Obama administration, that got defunded in 2010. And Trump brought it back and tripled the funding for this. And so a lot of states are doing this. And so this is like the school boards, our public schools have been battlegrounds for a long time. That's just one example. There are other examples. The other one, obviously right now that everybody's talking about, is the teaching of the actual racial history of the United States, the so-called critical race theory, and how it's being banned or state and all this kind of stuff. But what we're finding at these school board meetings is that these people showing up who don't have children, who are members of right-wing militias and white supremacist groups, and are shouting about Nazism and masks and vaccine mandates and all this kind of stuff, there is a hidden agenda here. And the hidden agenda isn't just indoctrinate the next generation. Which is why they're all hysterical about the teaching of history. But a larger piece of it is literally to destroy public education. When David Koch ran for president in 1980 on the Libertarian ticket, part of his platform was to end all free public education. Libertarians have been pitching this forever. This isn't just David Koch, who's now passed along. This is their thing. Public education is socialism. We can't have this. We've got to have education being provided by churches and by billionaires and by for-profit schools. And so by forcing teachers to expose themselves to deadly diseases and turning our public schools into hotbeds of disease, what comes out of that? More private schools. more opportunities for grifters and hustlers to make a buck. And by the way, more whites-only private schools. And then just, leave the public schools. Yeah, of course we want to have a few public schools for the black people and the Hispanic people and the, this is where they're going.
Listening